Hey everybody, Dr. Dave Marquis here, and I wanted to share with you a live feed on what I commonly recommend patients to do when they come in and they're struggling with insomnia, anxiety, panic attacks, just not feeling right in their skin. Years ago, I had an auto accident and I experienced a concussion from a rear end collision. And I started to experience some feelings that I'd never had before, where I'd start to see a car come up behind me in my rearview mirror, and I'd actually start to feel panic. And I found that I was becoming more inefficient as a driver, just as a result of this kind of constant fear, as a result of that collision. And I knew that I had this team here at my office that this is something that I recommend patients work with regularly. And so I went in and did it myself. Now, it's something that I had learned before, but I found that I was actually doing it wrong. And so learning how to do a skill set that impacts your autonomic nervous system so that you no longer live in a fight flight state is a really valuable tool. And so one of the tools that we use here, amongst many, is called heart rate variability. I'm literally connected to an EKG right now, a device that measures my respiration, and a pulse oximetry device that also measures my perfusion, which is how much oxygen I'm using, versus my saturation, which is how much oxygen I have. Now, there's a commonality in panic and anxiety that most people aren't utilizing the oxygen that they have readily available for them. And so you'll see this disparity between your saturation, which might be totally full. You might actually have all of your hemoglobin bound up with oxygen, ready to go, but your body, because it's in a fight-flight state, won't deliver it. And so your perfusion index would be low. And that was the case for me. I was living in that state. And so I've got Bree here with me, who is just a master at this, and she's going to kind of walk you through exactly what she's doing with me so that you could see a session live.
Once we get a patient in here for heart rate variability biofeedback, we set them in the chair and we hook them up to an EKG and respiration belts. We gather some more data on them. We get their saturation and perfusion just for a baseline. We do a recording for about 6.5 minutes as a baseline so that we have enough data to analyze where this person's autonomic nervous system is today so that we can track progress today and also have empirical data on improvement. So these individuals are not only feeling the improvement, but we can also show them live and also show them a baseline down the road. This is really powerful. Seeing is believing. It's not just saying, oh, thank you for healing me. I feel better because I think it. We look at what pace of breathing physiologically works best for each individual. We teach them how to do a proper diaphragmatic breath. And as they go through this paced breathing, he will be able to see where he's putting his oxygen in the diaphragm or the chest. And we can also see that pink line there on the screen is his heart rate, increasing as he inhales, decreasing as he exhales. Once we get the analysis, we find a pace of breathing that physiologically works best for the individual. And then we take the patient in here and we go over their results. We explain to them what it means, how it relates to what they're coming in for, and what the autonomic nervous system is responsible for in the body. And then the screen looks like this. I have all the bells and whistles going right now for Dr. Marquis, but essentially I'll have them sit here and they'll look at this paced breathing and they'll breathe in slowly. We teach them how to do a proper diaphragmatic breath and we work with the timing. So for some, this is a very challenging step. So this is our pacer, and the patient can see here that they're getting breath in their diaphragm versus their chest. Their heart rate is following their breath. He's following the breath now, and you can see this pink line here, which is heart rate. So as it goes down, it's getting slower as he exhales and faster as he inhales. Very nice. And as we get a few minutes through this, almost every single person I've worked with has said, well, I actually feel different doing this than when I walked in. It's incredible. And even for myself, I wouldn't have made this a lifestyle change, something that I dedicated my time to, until I saw this and saw the change in front of my eyes. And I think that's incredibly important. But the effects that this has on sleep, control of anxiety, not just in the moment, but also getting on top of anxiety. This is a tool that gets your body into a repair state and allows your body to absorb the nutrients you need. I will go into this more with you if you guys come in. We can see live if you're parasympathetic, which is purple, or the yellow sympathetic, which is the fight flight. We can actually see what they do second to second. So if somebody has an anxious moment where I say, hey, think about something that makes you anxious. Hey, Dr. Marquis, think about all the work you have to do tomorrow. We'll actually see this yellow line come up a little bit. See how it's coming up a little bit? There it goes. See, no pressure, pressure. Anyways, it does happen and it is so cool to see, and I want to teach you guys. So did I leave anything? Oh, and the last but not least, another cool thing that patients see is their perfusion increase. When someone is getting into a balanced autonomic state, we'll see vasodilation, and we'll also see the body producing nitric oxide more efficiently. And so we'll see that perfusion come up, and people's hands will oftentimes get warmer and they're feeling it in the moment. And like I said, it is so cool. Hand it back to you.
Thanks, Bree. Yeah, I had never really experienced the tactile and cognitive awareness of my physiology until I'd sat in this chair and looked at this. And I'm just chuckling right now because Bree literally drove me out of a parasympathetic state with that comment. And I'm looking at it right now and I'm working to bring my brain back into parasympathetic. I totally shifted my state of being just by thinking. That's powerful that we have that kind of control over ourselves, or should I say, lack of control in so many cases. So I wanted people to see this so that you understand how real it is and how simple it can be once you learn the skill. So I hope that that was helpful, and I hope that it really explained kind of a esoteric concept because we all think we're breathing, and so many of us really aren't breathing efficiently. So I hope that this inspires some of you to take some action, and I wish you all to be well.